Well, thanks for joining us again. And as we revisit and look at hypothetical future farming around the world, and we're going to go on a spotlight and take a look at our future farmer, Anna, in Latin America, and specifically Brazil. And if you haven't had a chance to see some of the original videos, I encourage you to take a look and then maybe come back and join us on our commentary to get a little bit more in-depth view of what's happening there.
Well, we know that in Brazil, they are all about soy since they are the largest soy producer in the world. And some of the systems that they use have been in production for about 2 decades now. Systems like 3 crops over 2 seasons, which are still sort of hypothetical future states for North America. And this practice has really improved their use of available land in Brazil. So it's been a great addition to their farming practices.
Yeah, and you're going to see a ton of icons coming up on the slide. As we talk about Orbia, that Anna is now going to be using for her operational decisions. Obviously, if it's just going to recommend a bunch of products that have no context, it's going to be less useful. So it's going to be informed by her practices, data science, local conditions to give her tailored recommendations for systems.
And what's really cool, it's not only does Orbia actually build on what's happening on the farm as we capture data and what's happened in terms of performance by tools like FieldView, but then you translate that into decision-making about what you want to plant next year, what crop protection products you need to purchase. And Orbia kind of helps you do that, takes you to that next step of here's what I want to buy, here's what I want to do next year, and helps you in that marketplace do those transactions.
And here we're talking about one of our flagship products, our Intacta seed, which is a 4th generation product that provides really important insect control in this market that obviously receives a lot of insect pressure. I think one of the really interesting things about this product is the time and effort that went into the development. This probably started in 2020 for a potential 2030 launch. So a lot of R&D effort to help bring this evolving insect control.
Yeah, and in Brazil, compared with other regions, the farms are pretty large. Anna will be combining several scouting methods. In the future, she will use disease modeling. She will use sensors in the field. All of this helps give her an accurate picture of what's happening. And then this operation, it's 1,500 acres, right? Imagine if she can drive more sustainability and spray a third less of her operation. That's 500 acres that with fewer crop protection products, also savings for her.
And of course, we want Anna to be using the very best products with the very best efficacy, which is why we provide different solutions for different problems. Our Fox family of fungicides, which are used primarily for things like soybean, Asian soybean rust, and then of course our Intacta platform is great, but it doesn't actually control every single insect that visits a Brazilian soybean field. So we have our new Planexos insecticide coming that will help with that. And then finally, of course, those little critters below ground, nematodes, they're a pest and a problem and a yield robber. And so for that, we have Vango, a new tool for growers to help to control the below ground pests like nematodes.
And just to keep us anchored on Orbia just a little bit, imagine how valuable it is to Anna when she can buy her seeds and her crop protection products in the same system. And even better when we can service her with application programs for those crop protection products, which will save her a lot of time and ensure that she's following the best regulatory and safety practices for those products.
And Brazil is, in addition, now a market that's heavily participating in the Bayer Carbon program. So you see the Pro Carbono icon on the slide. This system was launched a couple of years ago, and it really is designed to help ease farmers into adopting sustainable practices at scale, right? How they can bring these things into their operations in a way that brings value, environmental benefit, and can drive more economics for their operations.
Yeah, you're right, Jeremy. These Pro Carbono commodities are going to be another source of revenue for farmers. And we know there's an appetite there for premium commodities like low carbon or no carbon smart crops. And FieldView is just a really elegant way to make this solution happen.
Yeah, really, when you sum it up, it's how do you take all of these tools together, offer solutions to growers, maximize both their productivity, their profitability, and their impact on the environment in a positive way. So really just using the holistic approach to farming in the future.
And, so to, wrap things up, one last note as we look back and we think about deforestation for Brazil in particular. This is obviously very important for Brazilian farmers, but it's important also around the world.
Yeah, because while we might be talking about a farm here in Brazil, there can be impacts to Brazilian farming brought about by laws in other places, like the latest EU deforestation regulation. And that's going to be in effect this year. And goods producers are going to need to certify that the materials they produced didn't come at the expense of forested land.
Yeah, and I think the solution to that ultimately is really two things. One is smart farming that minimizes the footprint of agriculture and maximizes its productivity and minimal impact on the environment. And then at the same time, having digital tools available that can keep track that that's actually where that soybean was produced so that it can meet those certification standards.
Yeah, that's right, Bob. Well, thanks for listening to this look at Anna's farm. Join us in the next conversation where we will explore the vast potential of direct seeded rice for the world as part of the rice revolution.